you get trapped by this breaking royal story? Hi, good morning. Neil Sean here in the very heart of London. Nice to have your company. Welcome one and all brand new subscribers. Now, I often think with our history, here in the United Kingdom, Great Britain, the Commonwealth, we've got so much, haven't we, to celebrate? Well, everyone has, as I've said before here on the show. Every country, every place has a wonderful history. You just have to tap into it, don't you, and look around. And I often find that when you look in books and things like that, you think, oh, I didn't realize that was there, or that happened in that moment, and you kind of walk past it every single day and think, oh wow, really am passing history. It's a little bit like this story today. It's hard to believe that this particular stage play, The Mousetrap, is 70 years old. That's right, the Agatha Christie classic has been running. It's the longest running play in London's West End. Now, if you're a fan, you don't have to wait too much longer, because it's coming for the very first time to Broadway next year. Can't wait, can't believe it. It is one of the most spectacular productions I've ever seen. Now, it's one of those things also that you're not allowed to spoil the ending. You can't tell people when you go out, because obviously you don't want to spoil it for other people. But it is one of those. It's up there, I think, with Psycho, the film. You don't want to tell the ending to that because you don't want to ruin it for that either. Now, The Mousetrap started way back in 1952. After a provincial tour in places like Leeds and Nottingham to great success. I was lucky enough to meet one of the original stars, Dickie Attenborough, Richard Attenborough, who opened in the play in the West End alongside his beautiful wife, Sheila Sim. And he told me that meeting Agatha Christie, she never really believed that this was going to be a success, because she felt that by being a play, it would take away from the sale of the book. Now, I don't know if you know this, but this particular story was actually written expressly for Queen Mary and the King. And it started out as a radio play, but really it was inspired by the request from them, because they were such huge Agatha Christie fans, as are many of the royal family today, including King Charles and Catherine, Princess of Wales, let me tell you. But what's interesting here, as I say, is when you meet the original cast members. I said, well, what was Agatha Christie like? He said, well, she just thought it may run for about 8 months in total. Didn't see it as a big success. Thought that people would revert back to the books, She wasn't known as a playwright as such, but, she kind of hoped it was going to be something. I don't know if you know this, but she donated the royalties to her nephew as a sort of birthday gift. How wealthy has he now become after 70 years on the West End stage? And also, it's nice to note, isn't it, that even begrudgingly, other superstars of the world of theatre, like Sir Noel Coward, begrudgingly, as I say, 1957, sent a telegram over to Agatha Christie to say, as much as it pains me, congratulations on such a wonderful long run. He had no idea that it was going to continue decades later. What I like about this, and what Richard told me, was it's a simplistic story, really, that has the audience on the edge of its seat. Now, as you know, Richard Attenborough had already enjoyed quite a big success in the world of British films, and continued to do so for many years. But he said it was the one thing that people always asked him about once they'd realised he was the originator, if you like, of the character. Obviously, he didn't play it in the radio play. But what I find fascinating with him, and as I said, he said, well, even when we've been running a long time, every now and again, she would send someone to pop in to see how the audience figures were doing. Not because she wanted to count the box office or anything. She just couldn't quite believe that it had taken off in such a way. Now, I don't know if you also know this about The Mousetrap, but they're not allowed to make a film version of it until the West End theatre production finally closes. That could be some time. And they weren't also allowed to publish it as a short story, because she said she'd expressively written it originally for the royal family, and then obviously allowed it to be turned into a West End play. I often say this, I know, on the show, but if you're looking for something to do that is truly historical, has a royal association, and you want an absolutely thrilling night out at the theatre, then The Mousetrap is really the play for you. Not too pricey, not too long, but a whole bunch of thrills. And more importantly, you really are seeing history being made every single night on the West End stage. Now, if that doesn't trap you, what will? A bit of cheese? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.